Welcome to PeopleWhere. PeopleWhere is a web-based staff scheduling system that, in addition to managing the mechanics of streamlining scheduling, looks beyond to optimize and maximize your key resources, your organization's people. In this overview of the system, we'll highlight several features and functions. But if you take away nothing else from this presentation, these 5 points are goals we are certain you can achieve with PeopleWhere. Our system will help you reduce the time spent in planning, managing, and updating your schedules. We will help you streamline and consolidate the process. It is a web-based system, which means right away you are offering an easily accessible method for staff to check their schedules from wherever, and schedule changes are reflected immediately, meaning staff do not have to wait till the next time they're in to check their shifts. PeopleWhere provides a single method for submitting leave requests, whether they be vacation, sick, or medical appointment. Approved requests are tracked in the system. They are logged in time banks and impact the relevant schedules, whether current or future. Many libraries are facing either hiring freezes or losing staff due to funding cuts, while at the same time trying to balance increased demands for library services. You need to ensure that your key service positions, your reference and circulation desks, for example, are staffed. You need to know where your qualified staff are and who can sub in, regardless of where they normally work. PeopleWhere will tell you this so you can share effectively staff between branches and between departments. Your staff is knowledgeable. They have unique language skills, first aid certifications. Some are your go-to people for the adaptive technology in the library. Others always seem to know how to get the smartboard working. And still others are your designated librarians in charge when they're on. You can catalog these assets so that staff can find quickly who's got a particular asset and where they are working, and so that schedulers can make sure they've scheduled someone who can be the librarian in charge. Let's take a quick tour. This is the staff portal page for a general staff person. I can quickly see my schedule, scroll forwards or backwards to different months. I can print my schedule by clicking on the tear off calendar icon. I can also download my schedule into an iCalendar compatible application such as Google Calendar or Microsoft Outlook. I am able to work a variety of positions in the library. Some I may not be scheduled to work regularly, but I can substitute in when needed. PeopleWhere has a built-in messaging system. While this doesn't replace email, not all libraries offer staff individual email addresses, so this provides a mechanism for interstaff communication. It is also a convenient vehicle for corralling correspondence related to the schedule. I can also easily submit my vacation requests online. I can see what requests I have outstanding that have not yet been approved, and I can review what has been approved. The library defines the number and types of absences. You aren't limited just vacation or sick. Each type can be mediated or unmediated, and you can define certain rules, conditions for each type. For example, how far in advance a vacation request can be submitted, or how many days can be requested at a time. For a vacation request, we've set up our system so that this is mediated, requiring approval from my manager before it will be logged into the system and impact the schedule. Notice that I can see in real time my time banks as relates to vacation and sick, and also overtime and banked time, if you wish to track those as well. Let's switch gears and show the portal as if we were a supervisor or manager. As a manager of staff, I will have access to a new window, that of absence requests for approval, towards the bottom of the portal. I can see the request we just entered. Notice we are also given the amount of time left in the applicable time bank, amongst other pieces of information, and we can approve it right here. I also have schedule supervisory responsibilities, and this means on a day-to-day basis that I need to check on the health of the schedule or schedules I help manage. At the top of the portal, we'll find a quick snapshot of this. We can see that we do have a problem today. Perhaps someone is called in sick to reception and it's been recorded in the system and has, as a result, impacted our schedule. The problem is that a mandatory position is not being filled. I can see that this is a desk position that is missing coverage over the lunch hour. I know it's a mandatory position for 2 reasons. The background color is darker, and also when it's unfilled, the shift shows up red. By clicking on the shift I need to fill, I can see at the bottom of the screen a list of staff who are qualified to do this role and whose general availability covers the time I'm looking for. This list can include staff that work at other locations normally, but who are still qualified to do this role. The list will also show staff that have a conflict because they're already working at the library. If they are working, the system will display in what position and the shift's hours, so that I have the necessary information I need to make a decision to potentially move someone from a different department to cover our desk position. To show you that the role has been filled, I can mouse over the shift and the pop-up window will confirm the details. Or I can also expand the left-hand list of positions clicking on the plus sign. This will show who is working each shift. I can also toggle my display from being organized by role to be by person. If I'm responsible for more than just filling last-minute exceptions, but also for reviewing future problems, then I can get a more holistic view of the schedule by going into the scheduling menu. Again, we use color coding to help us quickly identify problem days. This view at a glance shows you for the remaining dates within your schedule any problems. In the form of unfilled mandatory shifts, which are reflected by the red color, unfilled optional shifts, the white, and shifts that are filled tentatively, the yellow. I can choose to work on a specific day, clicking on it, and then going through exactly the same process I did previously to review possible substitutes, selecting one and filling the shift. A couple of quick things I'd like to point out as we start to wrap things up. You will have noticed in the bottom left-hand corner of the daily schedule screen an area called Knowledge Assets. Listed here are skills and certifications that we have decided are important business goals to track and to try to make sure are covered by the staff we schedule. You will have also noticed that when we see the list of possible substitutes for a shift, that we see in the far right-hand column any knowledge assets they have. Being able to define certain attributes or designations, like a librarian in charge, can be very helpful. To conclude our presentation, I'd like to show you one report. Many libraries still do want to be able to produce hard copies of their schedule. We have the option of running a schedule report for a single day or a range of dates. We can organize the report by staff or by role. We can also choose to limit our report to a specific department or branch in our organization or to a specific rotation. The report is print ready, as you see it on the screen, but you can also download the schedule into Excel. This overview has covered a fair amount, but we may have missed something critically important to your library. We invite you to contact us, join us for one of our regularly scheduled live webinars, or request a private one through the webinar link on our website. Thank you for taking time to consider PeopleWhere.